What's up, guys? Studfit here. We have another episode of The Rundown, this time for Cat Tour 2022. And I'm joined by my good friend, Antolev. Welcome, Antolev.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, man, I usually say we have a lot to talk about, but unfortunately, this tour, not so much to talk about. It's one of the most fillerish of filler tours I've ever seen, that at least I can remember. I was thinking back, like, what tour would be the most filler tour? And sometimes people want to use that term to mean different things, maybe associated to like a city tour or something like that. But man, this is like this would be what every tour would look like if we just stripped it down, full of all the fun stuff, gold token pipes, great other things going on. There's just not a lot going on. So we'll try to see if we can break an hour. Antolev and I have set the challenge. We'll see if we can do it. This tour seems to be that type of tour. But before we do, never want to skim over the member community. This continues to grow. I am so ecstatic. I think just on the last rundown alone, we added 2 members just while we were streaming. SM Bros and I believe somebody else, but I think at this point in time, like this is what gets me up and gets me in front of the camera. Seeing each of these faces. Frenzy Grind upgraded to the Super Stud. You saw him on Kart Talk. It's been so cool just to see this community grow, see the Discord grow, and we're going to be kicking off another contest in June. Our members multiplayer Monday will be kicking off in June, so that'll be fun to get back at it. We can kind of take a 1 month off, 1 month on, because it's so intensive. But we had Draco win our last competition, which was so fun. But shout out to all the members here. Specifically, you see a big red circle around Larry98. He has done a phenomenal job, before we go any further, to really help us replicate what Tabor had been doing behind the scenes and try to automate it. He's done a phenomenal job. So we'll try to give shout outs specifically to Larry98 when you see something that's intriguing, and Larry was the one behind the scenes that helped put that together. But so appreciative of all of our mods, specifically super shout out to Larry98 to help us get that done. Phenomenal member of the community. All right, let's get into the Cat Pipe 1. So we have 6 spotlights, total of 9 high ends, so a 9%, which is not bad for a week 1 pipe, but we have more cats and we have babies. I think Nintendo missed here. I think they should have called this the baby tour and maybe just had, a couple less cat items, maybe one, a third reskin of like this baby buggy. But to me, this is the baby tour. I don't care what Nintendo's calling it. I don't want another cat tour. Just I know Sammy's a big cat fan. I'm not a big cat fan. I have a dog, and I've always been a dog person. And in this game, I'm not a big fan of cats. I did have did play the Mario 3DS World and enjoyed the cat skill of climbing up stuff and everything, but overall, man, I'm sick of cats. I don't know why they keep shoving cats down our throats, but this week 1 pipe, it is a little interesting, but I think for the most part, many people will be staying away. I will say this Galaxy Glider, one of my favorite gliders. It's continued to rise in our top 10. That's really the item that's in my favorite in here. I did get a high-end level ticket, a driver ticket in slot number 2 on my daily selects today. So I did pull on this pipe just to get some coins, and I got a double. I got the Cream Cat Cruiser and the Cream Toe Bean. So the Cream duo there. So I'm interested. I had to pull on for coins, but I'm going to try to wait. I'm going to want to pull as little as possible on this tour in general. But Antolev, what are your thoughts on this week 1 pipe? Did you pull?
No, it didn't pull. They're making it really easy to save rubies in the last couple of tours. We had doctors, we had then doctors round 2. Now we're having cats, and not giving us any good skill. So they like unloaded like a whole bunch of like plus skill drivers in the first part of this year, and then it's been a drought for the last 3 tours. So it's been pretty easy to save on the spotlight pipes, and this is kind of similar. Again, like you said, Galaxy Glider, one of the best gliders in the game right now. It's really hitting its stride. So that's probably the best item in the pipe. The new cream items, the Cream Cat Cruiser doesn't have the strongest start. The Cream Toby Eats Balloons, maybe. Cat Mario, nah, I don't really like his start either. It's in general, I think you have to be a cat fan to go for this pipe.
I think you're right. Let's talk a little bit about all of the new items and their coverage release. I never get too excited or unenthused about the number of tracks, but I think it's really important the quality, not necessarily the quantity, as it starts out, because everyone eventually will get to 20 something tracks one day. But and maybe even this game goes 5 years, they'll get eventually 30 or something like that. But right now, you start with a small sample size, and if you want to be able to get ahead of what everyone else is doing, you can feel free to invest. But I don't think any of these items are immediate investments, in my opinion. But we got the Cat Mario, Cat Luigi. Cat Luigi, we were surprised to see the Giga Bomb. He is in the week 2 pipe. And then we have this Cat Me racing suit, the Super Bell being a sneaky skill in that it, especially for multiplayer, it can be pretty effective, and they buffed the points off of that, if you remember, with the big update that we saw now over a month ago. We talked about these 2 Cat Cruisers. This green Cat Cruiser, it's like a neon color. It's alongside the Cat Luigi in week 2. We got the Goo Goo Buggy and the Goo Goo Pink. And then the Gold Kitty Kart that came with the Gold Pass Award. Very small. All 3 of these carts really small hitbox. And then we got the Green Cat Parafoil and the Cream Toe Beam Balloons. If you like green, go for it. I know there's some people that really like the Green Shell skill for whatever reason. Maybe that's the one that you're targeting. But Angela, let's walk through the starting coverage and kind of talk about what stands out.
Yeah, I think this, just a note before we get into it. This tour, the items I'm mostly going to be looking at are the items, because we have a lot of very new courses in ACR. We've got Sky Garden, we've got the new Baby Park, we've got Koopa Cape, we've got Yoshi Valley, and we've got Mushroom Gorge. So any starting item which has got a lot of those tracks and their variants as their start is going to have a much easier time getting good value than something that's going to get loaded up with a Donut Plains 2 or a Toad Circuit or a RMX Choco Island type of track. So that's what we're mostly going to be focusing on, and of course the overlaps. Starting with Cat Mario, you see right away he's got 3 RMX Choco Islands. 2 of them are on Choco Island 2, and one is the number 1 RT, and then he's got a Donut Plains 2. So already 4 of his 9 starting tracks are not very high value tracks, and none of those are the level 8 unlock as well. So I really don't like Cat Mario's start. Cat Luigi has a better start. If you look at all of his tracks, he's got RMX Coast Valley 1R and Luigi's Mansion RT, Frappy Snowland RT, but the rest of his 9 tracks are all like pretty new tracks. So he's starting with 6 like newer ones, and it's pretty high value. So I'm a big of those 2 drivers. I like Cat Luigi better. Cat Luigi does have a little bit more overlap. He's got some overlaps with Donkey Kong Jr. 3 times, Waluigi Vampire 3 times, Pichukata 3 times, Dr. Peach 3 times, Baby Mario Koala 3 times, and the Cat Me Racing Suit 4 times. Cat Mario has a little bit less overlap in general, but he has got some nasty overlap. He's got 3 overlaps with Tanuki Rosalina, 3 overlaps with Rosalina Volendam, and 3 overlaps with the Gold Me Racing Suit. All 3 phenomenal drivers. So I definitely like Luigi of these 2 on their start.
Good, I like it. What are your thoughts on the Cat Me Racing Suit?
Starting with 7 tracks, which is 1 more than we usually have for these suits. I like it pretty okay. As Super Bells, I don't know how unique. The like plus skills. 4 overlaps with Cat Luigi and 3 overlaps with Baby Peach Cherub. Other than that, 2 overlaps with Satellaview and Tanuki Rosalina and Silver Me Racing Suit, and there's like a bunch more with 2, but those are the 3 that you want to be careful for. And moving into the carts, we have 5 new carts this tour, which is like way too many. As you said before, the buggies, the Goo Goo Buggy and Goo Goo Pink, they're very small. So if you like a big hitbox, just ignore them completely. And then we've got the Cat Cruisers, which are also not big. Those are also like on the smaller side. They're not tiny like the other ones. I think Rashid measured them, and they are the same size as like the pumpkin cart, or kind of like egg sized. So yeah, really small. Cream Cat Cruiser starts with 8 tracks. It's got overlap 4 times with Tanuki Kart, 3 times with Yellow Off-Roader. Those are the most dangerous ones. And like starting wise, it's got half of its tracks are older tracks and half are new, so it's like pretty okay. The Green Cat Cruiser looks a little bit more interesting. It has a little bit less overlap. It does have 4 overlaps with Cupid's Arrow. It has 3 overlaps with Star Room and 3 overlaps with Gray Cat Cruiser. So if you have any of those at a high level, maybe not the greatest idea. But if you look at its starting tracks, really only Luigi's Mansion RT and RMX Choco Island 2T it has. So it has 6 of the newer tracks. So that's actually really good starting value, and that would be my pick for the best kart of this tour for a start. We can look at the babies. The Goo Goo Buggy actually has a ton of overlap. It's got overlap with Happy Ride, with Juke Buggy, with Cupid's Arrow, with the Gold Kitty Kart, the new one, the Sports Coupe. So it has a pretty difficult start. It also has some pretty weak tracks, 2 Toad Circuits, a Koopa Troopa Beach, and an RMX Choco Island 2T. So that would be my pick for the worst kart of the tour. Even worse than the Gold Kitty Kart. Goo Goo Pink has almost no overlaps, only with Gold Bunny and Goo Goo Buggy. So that's actually quite interesting. And also the tracks are, half old and half new, so less interesting, but not too much overlap with meta cards. Gold Kitty Kart is the gold best reward. That one overlaps with Yellow Off-Roader, most worryingly, but also Jade Hot Rod, Pink Capsule Kart, Green Cat Cruiser, and Goo Goo Buggy all 3 times. That one is starting with 1, 2, 3, 4, again, half and half old tracks and half new tracks, so not that interesting. Let's get into the gliders. We've got the Cream Toe Beam Balloons and the Green Cat Parafoil. The Cream Toe Beam Balloons in pipe 1, starting with 8 tracks. That has overlap 3 times with Wonderful Wings, 3 times with Sky High Flyer, with Sakura, Origami Glider, Mario's Mustache, Green Cat Parafoil, Galaxy Glider, and Aurora Balloons. There's some really good gliders on that overlap list. So the start for Cream is kind of worrying. It does have 6 of its 8 starting tracks are newer tracks, so that's like a pretty strong start quality-wise. The Green Cat Parafoil starting with 9 tracks, 3 overlaps with Wicked Topaz, Sky High Flower, Green Sprout, Gold Eggshell Glider, and Cream Toe Beam Balloons. So less than the Cream in terms of overlaps, even though it has more starting tracks. And it also has a pretty decent start. It's got 3 older tracks and 6 newer tracks. Green Cat Parafoil looks, the whole actually Luigi Cat set looks like to be the strong items in this. So if you're debating week 1 or week 2, just on value, week 2 pipe is probably better.
Interesting. I will say the ones that you mentioned for that Cream Toe Beam Balloons, I don't have necessarily, other than Wonderful Wings, I don't have a lot of those at a high level. So, take a look at each of those tracks individually. I do think you make a really good point, and just how many of these items have these brand new tracks. This is really rare for All Cup ranking. I can't wait to grind, because these are brand new tracks. Even Sky Garden we haven't seen in a while, and at the time I didn't necessarily like it when it first came out. But after playing for a day or two, I've actually really enjoyed doing it again, and it's got some good top drivers. I'm actually looking forward to doing that again. But Mushroom Gorge, fun to have as well. You have some Mii suit action that we can use it on now, finally. Overall, I'm really excited for All Cup ranking. In addition to that, these new items get those tracks, because that's all of the tracks that they've seen so far. So just keep that with a grain of salt. If you are really struggling for coverage, this might be the only reason you would pull on this pipe to get some of these items. But look at them strategically and plan accordingly. I've had some people say, "Hey, I'm trying to save rubies. I'm trying to lick my wounds coming out of these last few tours." I think this is a great tour to not pull pipes. This is a great tour to save. And with that being said, you have to understand your coverage, and if this is a time to be able to try to get this coverage, some of these might fill a lot of these gaps. Now, before we move forward, I do want to talk about Baby Park because it's an interesting track. As we know, we have more than 2 laps. I think really the only track that I remember having more than 2 laps would be one of the Tokyo Blurs. But so it's really interesting that we have 5. With the regular and the reverse, and 3 for the T. Really, really interesting there. There's times where in the last day or so, I was lapping people, and it'd be cool if they could get extra points for lapping, but it doesn't. But if you have a say banana scale, like a giant banana or some other, just even a banana frenzy, it might be a little bit more effective. I can't tell you how many times I had a banana frenzy and kept running into my own bananas, mainly because I couldn't see what's going on. There's just so much action in the peripheral and what's going on. So I end up, hitting bananas. But and it could be really effective, because you have to think about going around 5 times. You're much more likely to hit those bananas. So a really interesting fact there. Overall, like the track is really simple. What I'm excited about for Baby Park is the fact that it's a perfect pool grind. For me, pool being like actually at the pool and like barely seeing my phone, but just kind of, grinding at 200 cc's just to get the EXP. This is the easy. There's one turn. You literally turn right or you literally turn left, and that is
it's NASCAR, right?
It's NASCAR. And there's some skill to NASCAR to this type of track. I've kind of found getting this dash panels and kind of getting the inner circle pretty tight. But overall, like it's perfect for the pool. You just literally hold a mini turbo and just until the track ends and hope you get a couple of good frenzies. But that part's gonna be fun. But like actually having to like grind for ranks and grind for all cup ranking is not gonna be fun. Not a lot of options when it comes to having great skills. You have a lucky 7 here or there. And other than that, you're gonna have to probably be using Baby Mario Koala or some kind of dash ring or something like that. So good luck for that. What are your thoughts on Baby Park though?
It's chaos. I have not really grinded that much of it. I've been grinding today the T version because I have Pink Ninja, and that one is actually really fun. The N version I think is pretty crap. I actually don't think they should have brought it to Mario Kart Tour. I think it doesn't translate that well. But I mean, it is what it is, and it's here now, and we have to deal with it. So.
Yeah, for it's getting those tokens, making opponents crash is gonna be really, really tricky this tour. But like you mentioned, perfect for Giant Banana and on the T track, and it might be good to do early on and get those EXP and get those tokens. Making people crash is one of the hardest ways to get tokens in the game. So good luck to those who are doing it. And, one last thing I wanted to mention, while we have the Cat Me racing suit up. We saw in the little preview there will be a Me suit to be released here soon, and it kind of looks like a pillar hat on top of this driver. We talked a little bit about it on Kart Talk, one of my favorite episodes. It was a lot of fun. But I'm curious what your expectations are for that. It might be good just to kind of talk briefly on this. I mentioned on Kart Talk, and it kind of hit me all at once while I was literally talking. My personal prediction is it's going to be a lucky 7 head, and the 7 is just tilted. You're seeing it the 7's right here, and you're seeing it like this. So
that's a good one. That's interesting.
I think that would be like the ultimate Nintendo troll to like get us so excited for Egypt, to get excited for Pharaoh, and then just to give us a lucky 7 head. So that's my cute little prediction. But Ansel, what are your thoughts on this new Me? Are we gonna have a Pharaoh tour?
Yeah, I mean that's what everybody seems to assume. I don't really feel like it fits with the theme so far. With like the all the Me suits have been either characters or items which are already in the game. If you hold a gun to my head and say, you tell me what it is, I guess it is gonna be like a pipe or a piranha plant suit. You coming out of a pipe, and maybe with a fireball skill. Because I don't know if we have a lot of fireball Me suits yet. So that would be my guess. I've seen people say it's like a London guard hat, but if you actually look at a picture of those hats, they're not at all the shape of what the Me looks like. So I mean, like, I won't be surprised if it's an Egypt themed thing because everyone's been talking about that, but it doesn't really fit the pattern, I would say. I think it's going to be something in the game.
I'm with you there. We'll see what happens. Figured it would be good to talk about it there before we get to the other items in the different pipes we have. So nothing new added to the non-spotlight drivers for the 100 pipes. There are obviously next week spotlight drivers available. Nothing changing to the carts either, but there were some changes to gliders. We now have the Candlelight Flight and the Wonderful Wings added. So this has been in some pipes here recently, and some really hot items. So glad to see that added, but we're now starting to get to the point where we have almost as many gliders in this 100 pipe as we have carts. So it's becoming quite a lot to be able to choose from. So if you're hoping to get something specific, it's going to be really, really difficult. But I do like the selection. We got the Stargrade Sail in there. We got the Springtime Crane. We got the Silver Surf Master. We have Meteor Balloons. And now these new 2 items. But I'm not going to see them. I'm going to keep getting Starshoot and Dry Bowser Umbrella and Golden Glider. That's just how it's going to be. So, with that being said, we have the Cat Pipe 2. Similar odds when it comes to 6 spotlights, 9 high ends. However, we have the Baby Peach Cherub to go with the Goo Goo Pink and the Wonderful Wings, which obviously we mentioned added to the 100 pipe. It sounds like from what you're saying, Antelev, is you're going to be pulling on this pipe heavy.
No, I'm not. But I'm just saying, if you have to pick between Pipe 1 and Pipe 2 for the new items, I like the new items in Pipe 2 better. Again, I have more or less the same opinion about this one as I do about the week 1 pipe. The new items are a gamble. One of the carts is tiny and the other one is pretty small. And the new glider is a green shell glider, which is like, okay. Wonderful Wings is a phenomenal item as well. I have that one maxed out. Also invested into it in my free-to-play account. So it's in rank twice. But I mean, yeah, I'm not going to go into a 100 pipe for a glider that's not new, So, not super enthusiastic about this one either.
All right, well, let's talk about a different pipe that you might be a little bit more interested in, called the Kitty Cat pipe. It's a 50 pipe, no spotlights. Looks like it's going to be 2 drivers, 2 carts, 2 gliders, no spotlights. Obviously, the one that's going to draw a lot of attention is going to be Meowser, Tiger Bruiser, those being newer items, the Catco Parapole being around for quite some time. And then these other cats, which, I think for the argument that Meowser is not a cat, the same cats as, the Toad and Rosalina and Peach, I think this pretty clearly defies that. In my opinion. However, it's a different variation. I like his name. It's a little bit cleaner, but ultimately he is a cat, and as we can see, he's literally in a kitty cat pipe. So we do have 3 variations of the Cat Cruiser, with the gray Cat Cruiser and the black Cat Cruiser being pretty powerful carts. The original Cat Cruiser not quite as much. Then we have, the 3 drivers with, the Super Bell skill, and then, a couple gliders. I will say the Black Toe Beam Balloons was really, really powerful, roughly around this time last year. But overall, this is not a pipe that I am clamoring for, that I am going to go heavy in. In fact, I'm probably not even going to do a pull video. Actually, I've decided I am not doing a pull video on Sunday. If I have to pull this pipe, it is going to be sparingly, and it's going to be against my will. I think if you don't have Meowser at level 8, maybe it might be a little bit more attractive to you, but I really don't think any of these items are worth necessarily pulling for. Odds aren't bad. I think that's one piece that's worth noting. Having 6 high ends in a pipe like this, it's good high end to Ruby return, but I think that overall this is a great saving tour, and if you can somehow go through and not have to pull any of these pipes, you're going to be really happy next tour. And I think when it comes to those people who are asking, how do I save my rubies? Think about it. Would you rather have your rubies and get some of these items, or would you rather get them and pull something next tour that, maybe a little bit more intriguing? So think about it, this tour versus next tour. You're giving up items next tour in exchange for these. I just don't think anything here outside of Meowser is worth pulling on. What are your thoughts on, I know you're a big Tiger Bruiser fan, but what are your thoughts on this pipe?
I more or less agree with you. I think it's heavily dependent on whether or not you have Meowser, and I mean, that's dangerous. You don't ever want to be in a position where you have to go into a spotlight pipe trying to get one specific item out. The thing is, Meowser is so good and so dominant right now that it might be, if you have enough to say clear it twice, if you have 400, 450 rubies, I would say, and you don't have Meowser, I would say, okay, maybe with that amount of rubies, you can defeat, RNG. Your odds are pretty good of getting Meowser. And I think then it's worth it because he is that good, best driver in the game. And if you don't have him, you're a significant disadvantage. The gliders are all pretty mad. They're not really awful gliders here, but none of them are really standouts. 2 of the carts are very good. The Tiger Bruiser and the Gray Cat Cruiser are both very good. And the other 2, Cat Cruiser and Black Cat Cruiser, are less interesting. So it's not like this pipe is a total dud outside of Meowser. Cat Toad is a pretty decent driver. Cat Rosalina is, well, disappointing. Cat Peach has got her uses as well, but really, I mean, yeah, it's gonna come down to how badly you want Meowser. But I mean, I'll be skipping this one just because I have on both accounts Meowser at a high level already.
Yeah, you know what? I think the only person I know that's really excited about this pipe is Puffton. Puffton cannot wait to pull in this pipe. Taking her cats up to the next level is at the height of and most highest importance to her. All right, let's get into, if for some reason you want to pull on this pipe, or you just want to be able to collect some rubies. Yeah, I think this is not necessarily a tour for packs either. Let's get into that. So we got the week 1 packs and week 2 packs. The one that stands out to you, if you see this Kart, we haven't seen it for quite some time. The only word I can use to describe this cart and these packs, poop. Just poop. I'm not a big fan of the Kart. I don't think it's going to add a lot of value. I don't like this pack. It's actually, you can use it in some of these tracks. I think I'm having to use it on the R version or something like that. But yeah, it's not a great cart. It's small hitbox. It's been around forever. Like, this is like one of the first carts that I got back in the game. Now 2 years ago. So I don't really even want to talk about it anymore. We also have this 90 ruby pack. I think Gantelov and I might differ a little bit. I'm a little bit. I kind of liked it a little bit more than he does. I put it as a meh, because it's really going to depend on your wedding value and how much you have Peach wedding up. But I do think, I really like the glider, but I don't think you're going to be necessarily going to pay as much as you need to for a 90 ruby pack for a glider. So I agree with Antelope to a certain extent, so I put meh. But overall, when it came to naming studs and duds, this is a hard tour to do it. We have also the overpriced Cactar. We've seen the Cactar in packs and pipes, like almost endless. If you need to get a pack to get this Cactar because you don't have it, what were you waiting for the last 6 months? There were so many opportunities to get it that are much more attractive than getting this in a 90 ruby pack by itself. But it is there. It is a nice, powerful cart. Just for that price, man. And it's not like it's been exclusive. We've had a lot of opportunities to get it. As for week 2, this Peach Explorer is on the bottom end of a stud, in that she's got really good value. She's still really strong. In fact, she's a top 10 driver still. Amazing coverage, and for Sky Garden, she's going to be really helpful for you. I'm using her there, but I don't know. She does not have a top skill. You were simply using her to cover tracks. And really, that is attractive to a free-to-play player who's probably not buying packs anyway. So I kind of put it with a stud with a caveat there. And then Antelope's a little bit more bullish on the Penguin Mario, but I think this is a reach. The Silver Manta glider, it's a good, maybe even great glider. But I don't know. It's been around for a really long time, and we've seen it in a lot of different pipes. There's been plenty of opportunities to get it that I'm looking at that Mario, and he just sours that pack so much that I think it's a reach in my opinion. Antelope, what are your thoughts on these week 1 and week 2 packs?
Yeah, so let's start with the Wedding Peach and glittering parasol pack. The glider is very good. The question is, how are you paying 90 rubies for a glider, or does Wedding Peach have some value? I feel like there are, for the people who buy 90 ruby packs, they probably already have Wedding Peach at a high level. And for the people who don't buy 90 ruby packs, or they're not going to spend 90 rubies to get to get Peach Wedding, I mean, she's a pretty old driver. She isn't ranked the first week, so I mean, if you just it's your birthday or something and you decide I need a pack, I'm gonna go for rank. You'll definitely get some value out of it in that sense. But I don't think she has a lot of value going forward. So I kind of feel like this is like a trick pack. They're just basically charging you 90 rubies to get admittedly a good glider. Carp Cart. That is basically what it is. Cactar, as you say, overpriced. The 90 rupee pack in week 2 with Penguin Mario and Silver Manta Glider. Penguin Mario doesn't have a good skill, but he is just outside that sort of top tier of drivers with bad skills but great coverage. So you've got like Explorer Peach and Tanuki Rosalina. Those are the top two. And then outside of that, you kind of got like Penguin Toadette, Penguin Mario, Waluigi Vampire, like, drivers with like 23, 24, 25 non-city tracks, which is a lot, So, I mean, he does kind of have like a decent value in that sense, but I mean, you're probably right. It's a reach, and then finally Explorer Peach. I mean, it's a good pack, but you have to be in a position where, like, look, if you're the person who's like strict gold pass only and you buy a pack like, once every 3 months or something, and your account is not like super advanced, this might be a good one to get if you don't have her, just because she gives you so much value if you don't have like a really like filled out driver inventory. So that's why I say it's a solid pack. The real great items here are the premium challenges and the week 2 tier shop for sure. Like, I wish I could buy that premium challenge 4 times instead of anything else, but yeah, no, I won't buy any of these packs this tour.
Yeah, the week 2 tier shop, all studs.
It's crazy.
It's actually pretty insane. These are 3 items that have been at the top of our top 10 list at some point in time. I would say this is one of the reasons why Pink Gold Peach was not an immediate 8 when level 8 was released, because I knew we'd see her in packs and pipes, and she just seems to always be available and around. But she is a great driver. She's coin boxed, has great coverage, very few cities. She's phenomenal. And Crawly Kart, one of the biggest hitboxes in the game, great coverage. It's kind of like, I kind of compare it to the Strawberry Donut of Karts. It just seems to have a wide range of different tracks, and it seems to be in ranked. I don't know, it comes up in ranked probably every other month or so. Really helpful. In the Blacker Sale, I don't have to say anything more. This was the 2021 top glider, hands down. So, phenomenal items. In fact, I have 2 of these items at level 8 already because they're like that powerful. With Crawly Kart being the not yet, but I wish I could. So that and the off-road are like 2 carts I would love to have at level 8, but it just takes so many cart tickets. And cart tickets are tough just because there's so many carts and I'm trying to level things up. And so I would highly recommend Premium Challenge and the Crawly Kart, in addition to the other items that are there for the tier shop. I think if you have to pass on one of those tier shop items, maybe it's even PGP. I don't know. Maybe it's not worth the 12,000 coins only to get 6,000 back in return in 6 months. So for what it's worth, I think you're probably going to be able to make those decisions on your own. And for sake of time, we're going to move forward to the buffs. There is one driver who got 4 buffs. That's Dr. Bowser. He got the Mushroom Gorge, looks like the Yoshi Valley T, the Remix Choco Island RT, and the Remix Ghost Valley 1. So he's already up to 14 non-city tracks with 0 cities. So phenomenal for him there. Number of drivers getting 2 buffs, including the question mark Me Racing Suit, aka Cheesehead, aka SpongeBob. He's got 8 non-city tracks, 0 cities. I'd love to hear Antilev's opinion on these tracks, because we've got the Sky Garden regular and the R, so not bad options there if you have to make an investment in them. Obviously having Coinbox, kind of the Gold Me Suit Light, he's really strong when it comes to having that top skill. Not a huge hitbox, but that doesn't matter. Any Coinbox is good. Berta White, Daisy Farmer, Dr. Peach, 3 drivers I wouldn't worry too much about. But then we got 2 Boomerang drivers. We got Mario Samurai getting Sky Garden and Sky Garden regular. So he got the same exact buffs as the question block Me Racing Suit. So if you are pretty heavily invested in the question mark, the Mario Samurai might not be as attractive as a buff, but he's got 21 non-city tracks, 0 cities. He has a lot of overlap with Coinbox drivers, but you gotta love 0 cities. He's got 21 already, and he's still relatively new. So he continues to keep getting buffs. They're just not necessarily great buffs compared to Volendam.
I think we might have a bit of a typo, because all of those 2 buff drivers have the same exact tracks, and I'm just checking right here.
Oof. Okay.
Yeah, the question block Me Racing Suit has got Frappe Snow and RT, and RMX Choco Island 1 RT as its buffs.
Good catch. I will relay that internally. Good to know. So ignore those buffs. I think it looks like the ones below are probably correct.
I can read them out real quick if you want to
let's
have
do that. Let's do that.
So the question block me racing suit got Frappuccino and RT and RMX Choco Island 1 RT. Those are both exclusives, by the way, so pretty good buffs. Coinbox White Birdo White got Frappuccino and RT and RMX Ghost Valley 1T. Daisy Farmer got Mushroom George N and Mushroom George T. Dr. Peach got Baby Park R and Yoshi Valley T. Samurai Mario, he got Baby Park T, really good one, and RMX Ghost Valley 1. And then Rosalina Foldum, she actually, those are her two buffs, Sky Garden and Sky Garden R. Those are really good buffs for her because they're both non-coin box. And I think one of them up until now was I think she's the only boomerang driver on one of them.
Wow, that's good for her. She's been crushing lately with some really good buffs.
Yeah, really strong buffs for her.
Cool. All right, let's get to the drivers with one buff. Nothing I really want to talk too much about. I think the King Boo me racing suits been kind of attractive now. He's got the Remix Ghost Valley. Mario Salaview got a phenomenal buff. He's been so strong right now. Shy Guy Ninja, the pink version, he's got 18 non-city tracks, 1 city, number 15 on the list, huge for him. And then Yoshi Goldegg, he gets the Remix Choco Island 2T, he's up to 17 non-city tracks and 0 cities. I think those are the big movers and shakers when it comes to who's getting buffed, but what are your thoughts on these drivers?
Yeah, so the Dr. Bowser is really cool. He got 4 buffs, but I mean it's still early, but it's a pretty strong start for him. He might be a sort of coverage champ later on. So like I said, Volendam got 2 Sky Gardens, really strong because they're both non-coin box tracks. Both good for, they both have mid-shelf coin boxes as well, so they're good for boomboxing. Samurai Mario, he got Baby Park T, and he's the only boomerang driver there, and that track looks amazing for boomboxing. So that's finally a really good buff for him. He also got Ghost Valley 1, RMX Ghost Valley 1, which is also a nice boombox track. Gold Yoshi got RMX Choco Island 2T. That is actually to this point not a coin box track, so that's another exclusive for Gold Egg Yoshi, which is so it's a very strong buff for him. And yes, Teleview just keeps going, and another, well, it was previously a non-coin box track, but since the Blockhead got it, then it's not. But it's I mean, he's so good. 24 tracks, and 13 of his 24 tracks non-coin box tracks.
Man, Teleview is crushing it right now, and it's funny every time I see him get buffs. We were really worried at first what his kind of similar to Mario's Samurai. We were just like, this guy looks terrible, and then it's got good buff after good buff.
Yeah.
All right, let's get to carts. We got 2 carts that got 3 buffs. Both of them being capsules, 1 green, yellow, 1 pink, with 12 non-city tracks and 11 cities. 12 non-cities and 11 non-cities respectively. And then we have a number of cards that got 2 buffs, including and most notably the Armored Rider, 19 non-city tracks, 0 cities, a monster cart. Great hitbox, getting all the right buffs at the right time. One of my favorite looking carts here in the game. I do not have it at a high level. I have it at level 3, and I'm jealous when I see all the other ones at a high level. I kind of went with the Sakura Hot Rod, which has been phenomenal for me, but I wish I could both have them both because they're both awesome. We also have the Cupidero that got now up to 20 non-city tracks, 3 cities, as you can see, number 2 on our list. And a couple other buffs I don't really feel like talking about. We got another whole set of carts that got 1 buff. Your Flower Cart got that, so it's up to 13 non-city tracks, 3 cities. The Jukebox Buggy, have to point that out. 25 non-city tracks, 3 cities. Number 1 card on our list again. Gray Cat Cruiser, 22 non-city tracks, 2 cities. Warrior Wagon, 19 non-city tracks, 1 city. And then your Tiger Bruiser saw a nice little buff there. 20 non-city tracks, 2 cities. I'm still a little more skeptical on that, but it is what it is. And then the White Bruiser got a perfect ranked buff for 11 non-city tracks, 0 cities. I took that one to 7,595, and I can't wait to keep getting those ranked buffs after ranked buffs. I'm hoping it's going to be like the Vampire Flyer of 2022. And then we got, so what are your thoughts on these carts?
Yeah, so I think the big winner here is Cupid's Arrow. It got two Baby Park variants, R and T, so one in ranked, one unranked. But the Baby Park R top shelf is like pretty difficult. So very very strong. Armored Rider as well. That is one I do have at a high level. I took it to level 6 at 595 like almost right away, and then last tour I brought it to level 7 and triple capped it. So it got Baby Park N, so ranked week 1, and then it also got a really nice buff in RMX Ghost Valley 1R. That this is a track where the only top shelf coin box driver normally is Gold Dry Bones, and he's a really small driver. So having a massive cart to help him out a little bit there really makes a big difference, because I think Head Honcho is a pretty common top shelf on that one. If you're grinding with Gold Bones and Head Honcho, you're in for not a fun time. So this is a really good buff for Armored Rider. I think it's interesting that Frosty Bell's got 2 buffs, one Baby Park and Frappe Snow and RT. Firefly also got 2 buffs, but they're both old tracks, Donut Plains 2R and RMX Choco Island 1RT. And Daikon Rocket got 2 buffs, but they're not Baby Parks, but they're new tracks. He got Mushroom Gorge and Sky Garden are, yes. And yeah, finally Jukebox Buggy is amazing. It just keeps going and going. 25 tracks. It's absolutely incredible. Even though it's not a big one, it's still like manages to, due to its coverage and quality of its tracks, take number 1. So yeah.
It's a really good cart. Enough said about that. I mean, it looks beautiful. I love the colors. It's just such a fun. And I've seen so many people like this, Beat Chris, and everything take it all the way up. And it's been fun to watch them enjoy that. All right, we do have one glider that got 3 buffs. It's the Wicked Topaz. It's been a little fan favorite since coming out of the Doctor. I think it's probably the highlight of the Doctor Fest when it comes to new items. I already took this one to 7,595 as well. I absolutely, I'm in healthcare, and so this was like the only healthcare item that I really liked coming out of the Doctor Fest. And it was either that or the Green Sprout, and I went Wicked Topaz. They have very different coverage, but I needed it for the one track that it has with Koopa Cape, and I've been loving it, man. It's such a cool looking glider. I know it's kind of the bad guy glider, but man, I absolutely love it. I think it's so cool. It got the 3 buffs, up to 12 non-cities, 0 cities there. I love it. If you need to invest in it, go for it. I'm putting my Studfit like stamp. Like that is my secure hop rod of 2022 when it comes to gliders. So I can't wait to keep seeing buffs and buffs. But got 3 here. I'd love to hear what your thoughts are on those buffs. But we got 2 gliders with 2 buffs, including the Black Cat Parafoil and the Origami Glider. Up to 20 non-city tracks, 3 cities for the Black Cat Parafoil, and 19 non-city tracks, 0 cities for the Origami Glider. That's a decent number of non-city tracks with 0 cities there for the Origami Glider. We were worried about it for a while as well, but those buffs are nice. We got a lot of gliders with 1 buff. I'll kind of skim through some of the most notable ones. We got the Candlelight Flight, 24 non-city tracks, 4 cities, up to number 7 on our list. 28 total tracks is really good for a glider that, has been around for 9 months or so. Really, really good there. And the Galaxy Glider, so strong. 22 non-city tracks, 1 city, number 4 on our list. One of my favorite gliders from this past year. I took it to 8,700. I think it was probably like a month and a half ago, and absolutely, I've been surprised. Like it's not a new glider, but it keeps getting new buffs, and like it's
kind of a slow burn, Like it didn't start out that strong, but it just keeps going.
And you know what? I think one of the reputations that new items coming out of a special pipe have is that they get all their buffs right away, and then they don't get very many buffs later. So this one's been bucking the trend. It's been an absolute killer glider. Highly recommend it. It looks beautiful. I love anything of that space-looking, kind of multicolored glider. Again, I'm not a big ribbon fan, but I don't know. Like it's not necessarily the ribbon piece. It's like just a beautiful, collage of items on top of what is a boring, kind of base item there. Glinting Glider, 23 non-city tracks, 9 cities. There's a lot of cities, but it's number 12 on our list. Then the Green Sprout did get 1 buff. It is a ranked buff, so those who have the Green Sprout, shout out to the Green Sprout gang, you're really happy about that one buff. But I do know from talking with many of you, you were hoping to get more Sky Garden buffs, which didn't happen, very surprisingly. I am very surprised. Like, that was the one buff I knew it was coming for. Interesting to see that one, how it's been trending. Hasn't necessarily gotten the greatest number or the greatest buffs, but it's in ranked, so you're not complaining. 14 on-city tracks, 1 city there for the Green Sprout. One to keep an eye on for sure. Pink Gold Meteors, 22 non-city tracks, 3 cities, number 11 on our list. A couple other doctor items when you're talking about the pink magnifying glass and the library book. Kind of low still numbers when it comes to total tracks. You got the record setter, the double level 8 glider, and also the one causing seizures. 24 non-city tracks, 0 cities there. Sky High Flyer. This is one I wanted to point out. Number 14 on our list. 19 on city tracks, 1 city there. Seems like both of these items, prop Kart and the Sky High Flyer, are doing really well now. They're awesome looking as well. And then Wonderful Wings, as we talked about, a really, really strong meta glider. If you have to put tickets on it, go ahead. It's really, really powerful right now with 19. It only says 19 non-city tracks, 1 city, but each one of those 19 tracks, I think like 13 of them are really, really, really solid. So really good there for the Wonderful Wings. Does have only 1 city, number 13 on our list, but going up. Anselm, what are your thoughts on the gliders?
Yeah, so most interestingly, there's like not that many glider buffs in total. We have only 26 total buffs. 18 out of those 26 are on Baby Park variants. So out of returning tracks, there are only 8 buffs in total, which is actually shockingly low. There are 0 buffs for gliders on Sky Garden tracks at all. So no new glider coverage. Yeah, and there's only 1 on Mushroom Gorge, and that is your Wicked Topaz. And I've talked to multiple people who've gone hard on this one early, and they've been rewarded because they got 3 amazing buffs. They got Baby Park T, Mushroom Gorge, and Yoshi Valley are all like really tough paywall tracks, and I got 3 of them. So that's a great start. And if you've invested, you're getting the rewards of it. It's also in week 2 in ranked. Origami Glider, finally getting some love. It got Baby Park N and R, so that's week 1 ranked, and then R is like a pretty tough one. Like, it's weird because usually the R version isn't in ranked and it has a sort of more forgiving top shelf, but in this tour, for whatever reason, Baby Park R has like a ridiculously difficult top shelf. So thankfully it's not in ranked. And Black Cat Parafoil, I think, is the only item which has both ranked Baby Parks. So it got that is the strongest probably quality of buffs. Got Baby Park N and T, so it's ranked in week 1 and week 2 for that. So if you want to go for the special pipe to get that one to cover yourself in ranked, maybe it's worth it. Other than that, not really a whole lot to mention because there's just not that many buffs. Wonderful Wings again. People are saying because it's in the all clear pipe now or whatever, that it's going to lose value, but I mean, it already has such good value that, and it still has a lot of tracks to see. The Sky Tour items, I think, still have like 58 tracks left to see. So I mean, it's still room to get up to like at least 22, 23, maybe even 24 non-city tracks. It could totally happen. I wouldn't be shy about investing in that one.
Yeah, that is one thing. One trend that we've seen a lot in 2022 is that they come out with a new track and then they actually give it to us a couple tours in a row, or 3 out of 4 tours or something like that. So what the impact that has on the meta level strategies is that some of these older tracks don't come back quite as often, which is perfectly okay for those who grind ACR. However, when it comes to getting buffs, it kind of prolongs the inevitable when it comes to getting those nice buffs later on. So again, they're older tracks that probably haven't come back yet, so don't get too worried about it. But for what it's worth, that's kind of how it's impacting the meta strategy. Let's talk about the top 10 algorithm. Now, this has been, we were using Tabor's algorithm. This is the second episode where we are sticking with Antelev's top 10 algorithm. We have made some changes, though, so I'll turn that over to Antelev. Talk to us a little bit about the tweaks that you made.
Basically, we're talking to people in the community. There were 2 elements which we didn't include initially that we added this tour. First one is a penalty for Coinbox overlap. So a driver who has a track where they don't have Coinbox skill, but there is a Coinbox driver on that track, we'll get a small penalty for that track as a top shelf, so it's worth less. And then also we added some bonus for ranked history, so not just ranked in the current tour, but then ranked in the past, I think it is 5 tours. And so every track that's been in ranked gets a bonus, but that is diminishing as it goes back. So the more recent ranked will have more value than the further back ones. And then finally, we did adjust the skill values. Boomerang slightly down and Lucky 7 slightly up. All in all, it doesn't have too big of an impact. Charging Chuck has a lot of coin box overlap, but it didn't slow him down at all. So.
Yeah, about the carts, we were doing like a bonus for being in ranked for this tour. So Ansel Evan and I kind of talked about it, and I thought it might be good to just not just have it for that tour, but kind of have it for the last few tours and kind of have it taper off. And that points will diminish as time goes on, but it's kind of will hopefully make more of a wave type of environment when it comes to seeing those buffs, which is really good. And what we want out of a top 10 is what's hot right now. So let's talk about drivers. With that being said, we have Meowser and Gold Me Racing Suit, number 1 and 2, respectively. But these are the top 2 Coinbox drivers in the game right now, hands down. We do have Charging Chuck. He went up 3 spots. He's number 3 on our list. As you've seen, he kind of had a rough start, similar to Saddle View, where we weren't sure. He had so much overlap with Coinbox, we weren't sure how things were going to pan out. But he's been in ranked. He's been crushing it here lately. It seems to be that the buffs he's been getting have been stellar. So absolutely love that. And then Yoshi's Gold Egg. He actually went down 1 spot. Still a solid new Coinbox driver, but his coverage is, I don't know, it's really tough. I have not taken mine up yet. I just haven't needed to, but starting getting some high-end tickets, and it's eating away at me. I think I'm going to go Volendam instead of Yoshi Egg Hunt, though, and buck my Coinbox only strategy. So I just think right now she's just too powerful to turn away, and I think she'll be on this top 10 list before time goes out. And then we have Luigi Vacation, really strong Boomerang driver as well, along with Yoshi Kangaroo. Both of them went down 1 spot, but still, top 6 drivers, which is great in this game. Both really, really strong. And then we have Kamek, who's holding out number 7 for a second tour in a row, with Peach Explorer going up 1 to number 8. Certainly a great coverage queen. Then, as we talked about, Mario Saddle View is absolutely crushing it right now. In my opinion, he's one of the strongest all-cup ranking Lucky 7 drivers in the game for me right now. I am absolutely loving him. He's got a lot of the tracks that he has that on. They don't have really much better options. So for me, it's an easy move when it comes to, because sometimes I'm debating. I'm like, do I want to Boomerang this? Do I want to Lucky 7 this? It's like, dude, it's Saddle View, and it's hands down. So absolutely love the tracks that he has. And then we have Tanuki Rosalina up 1 spot into our top 10 again, which is nice, as she was in the top 10 and number 1 even for months on end. So nice to see her back. And then rounding out the top 15, we have Shy Guy Ninja, King Bob Gold, Silver Me Racing Suit, Rosalina Volendam, again, as we're talking about, on the rise. And then Pink Shy Guy Ninja, one of my personal favorites as well, with the Giant Banana. We'll see how that goes forward, but it seems like every track that he gets seems to be like ranked track after ranked track, and he's so fun to use, especially with coming with these crashed challenges here. But Angela, what are your thoughts on our top 10? Good list.
I mean, Charging Chuck didn't even get buffed, but he's so strong, and putting that ranked bonus in helped him a lot, because he's been in ranked a lot. And also the skill adjustment, like Luigi Vacation, Yoshi Kangaroo, like Yoshi Gold Egg didn't even lose value. It's just he lost value relative to Chuck. So I mean, he actually went up in his raw value because he got a new track, but the algorithm adjustment actually did have an impact there. With Satellaview, I agree with everything you said. I see a lot of people triple capping him lately just because he's so strong. Yeah, exactly. And you don't see that very often with Lucky 7 drivers, but I mean, I'm just looking over here. The drivers get bonuses for exclusive tracks where they're the only plus skill. Mario Satellaview has 3 tracks where he's the only plus skill driver at all, which is like there's only like 1 or 2 other ones that even have 2, because we're so crowded with plus skills now. But he's just got such incredible value, and he's, like you said before, he's got all those non-coin box tracks. In the top 15 at think it's really interesting. Rosalina Volendam and Pink Shy Guy Ninja both went up 8 spots, and right outside the top 15 is Mario Samurai, who actually also went up 8 spots to number 16.
Yeah, we'll see how that all pans out. It's nice to see these new scales jumping up, and right now, I mean, you can't beat Meowser, you can't beat Gold Mirror Racing Suit. These guys are too hot right now, but you got a lot of other top skills nipping at the buds. I absolutely love this list. I think well done on the tweaks you made, Antela, but I think these are stellar. Let's talk about karts. These are a little bit more intriguing. I think this karts there's so many of them. It's really so hard to for the hundreds of karts that we have to get into such a tight top 10, top 15. So it is really like in the moment, who's the hottest right now. And I think the algorithm captures that as best as it possibly can. But these are much more arguable because it's really coverage dependent. We have Jukebox Buggy up 1 spot to our number 1. It's been awesome. Drivers we talked about, the buffs it's getting are phenomenal. It's in ranked all the time. Really, the only thing you can knock it on is just having a medium hitbox. But really, like that's all you can. That's the only thing you can poke at. It's a great kart, and those who got it in a pack last tour might be really happy to see that. We get Cupid's Arrow, again, another special pipe item that came out new with a special pipe, up 4 spots. So it's number 2 on our list. This is really good. It's got a really good hitbox. Not the best, but it's still massive. I highly recommend if you have taken it. Again, these special pipe new items, man, these are phenomenal. I personally think that the one of the strongest items in the game, that highest floor items, are these new items coming out of a special pipe. So if you have to invest in any White Bruiser, any Sakura Hop Rod, any Pink Shy Guy Ninja, like these are high floor items. I highly recommend them. I know Sammy's not a big fan of the special pipes. He's trying to stay away from them. Personally, I think that's a mistake. I think going in and getting these spotlight items, getting these new items are really key. And plus, you get more high end for Ruby action too. So I think the special pipes are still one of the strongest options in the game right now to be able to use your rubies. I think going into 100 pipe for something like even a new driver is a luxury. I think if I was a new player, my recommendation would be to you is leverage these special pipes. Be able. I called them the clearance aisle. Like these are great ways for you to get items that have been around for a while, but they have still. I mean, that's the fact they've been around means they have great coverage, and so you're getting great coverage right off the bat. In addition to getting new items, so highly recommend Cupid's Arrow. Half price, man. Can't beat that. I will say the Combo Cruiser definitely defeats everything I just said, in that it was in the 100 pipe, and it's much more elusive. But it's got that huge hitbox. It did drop 2 spots to number 3 on our list, but it's been a phenomenal cart. I even have a hard time describing that it went down to, because it's just such an awesome cart. I don't think it's losing steam. It's going to continue to see really good buffs. It's still really new. Armor Rider, though, man, this is a good one. Up 5 spots to number 4. I get excited just looking at it. It's just such a cool looking cart. Prop Cart did fall down 2 spots. It's number 5 right now. It's got also a great hitbox, which is kind of a common trend on this list, as you can see. But although it got ranked, and it's a really nice cart, it's down 2 spots. It just has to make room for these awesome other carts above it. Tanuki Cart down 2 spots. Yellow Off-Roader down 2 spots. Both of these have been in the top 10 for a long time. Really good carts to invest in. Really, every cart on this list, great to invest in. However, we just have some fluidity to the situation, and that's perfectly fine. Yellow Off-Roader just doesn't get quite didn't get buffed this tour, but it's so awesome. It's in all cup ranking all over the place. You absolutely love it. And Cactar, kind of the same category. It only fell 1 spot though to number 8, along with Romby Runner. Solid card as well. Former number 1. It did get dropped 1 to number 9, but great hitbox as well. And then Gray Cat Cruiser. One of the few on this list that have a smaller than ideal hitbox, but up 8 spots. It's a great filler. It fills in with the meta really nicely. If you have to put tickets on it because it gives you 3 or 4 tracks, go for it. It is worth it. It's been really helpful to kind of fill in the gaps. There's times where I don't have it at a high level, but I've thought about it. Man, it's just, I don't get excited about the cat stuff. So that's the only thing holding me back. It's probably, my bias is probably hurting me there. To round out the top 15, we got the Warrior Wagon 11, still a phenomenal card. That and the Armored Rider were top 15 cards almost immediately and have never left that list. Both really, really strong. Tiger Bruiser, new to the top 15. It's number 12 on our list. Silver King, former number 1, still really strong, holding out number 13 currently, with the Star Broom at 14 and Lunar Cruiser at 15. Anthony, what are your thoughts on the top 10 carts?
So the Grey Cat Cruiser, the jump of 8 spots is a little bit misleading, just because that range of like 10 to 20 is really, really tight. So it didn't get like crazy buffs. It got like one decent buff, and it is in ranked, I think. But it just, everything in that range is like really tight. So the difference between 11 and 15 is like less than 2 points or something of a score out of 100. Other than that, like Cupid's arrow, like as we said before, it was got really strong buffs, so that's why you see it jumping. Same thing with Armored Rider. Like, going forward, and the way this model works is the new tracks are worth a lot, being rank tracks are worth a lot, and just coverage is worth a lot. So if an item gets a new track and it's in ranked, that they're gonna like pop up the rankings. And I mean, I think that's, for everything we're trying to do here, we want a list that kind of passes the smell test. We want to look at a list and be like, yeah, I see all of these being top 10 items, like there's no head scratchers here, like these are all carts where we'd be happy to invest in on a neutral account. Other than that, and movers and shakers, there's not like a whole lot to speak of. The Warrior Wagon, it just missed out on the top 10, but that's it had nice buffs. So looking forward to seeing more of that going forward.
Yeah, what did apparently not meet the sniff test was the Vampire Flyer, who fell outside the 15, which is very, very sad for me. But I get it. It was in ranked for such a long period of time, so when doesn't get the buff, doesn't get ranked, it deserves to fall out. So I'm not going to fight it. I'm just, I'm going through my stages of grief as we speak. We got the gliders, Golden Wings, still holding out the number 1 glider in the game, and honestly, I don't see it getting outseeded anytime soon. It's going to be on top of that list at least for a couple more tours. I absolutely love the Golden Wings. It is so strong. Even this tour for All Cup ranking, it's super strong. Star Great Sail is really solid too, though. It obviously part of the Sail family. It's been interesting how I would say this is kind of a slow burn too, right? So it came out. Mediocre coverage to start, but it seems like
and a city tour as well. So
city tour came out, yeah, absolutely. And but the coverage and the buffs have kind of come on slowly, and they've had good buffs. So it's I think it's a really strong glider if you have to put tickets in it. The 8-bit Bullet Bill. I think if you are a new player and you somehow got this glider, this one's a great one to invest in, especially for new players, because although it has a lot of overlap with other items, it could be that the silver bullet for you and get you coverage on a lot of different tracks. I have it at 700. I probably won't take it to level 8 anytime soon, but I made it early investment. That's the one downside, is I have a lot of investment into the Evo gliders because they just look so awesome. And but this was one of them. But I kind of regretted it for maybe a month or so, pretty early on. But I've actually been really enjoying it. It's got like a nice Sky Garden. It's got a nice couple tracks that I really enjoy it for. It's been in ranked a few times. It's come around on me. So one that it's not a bad glider, number 3 on our list. But nothing pales in comparison to the Galaxy Glider. Up 4 spots. Absolutely love this glider. Highly recommend. But the Black Great Sail, still in my mind, my number 2 in my only behind the Golden Wings right now. Just because it's so strong for All Cup ranking, I'm using it all the time. It is phenomenal glider at number 5. It doesn't even get buffs. It's still like crushing it. And then rounding out the bottom half of the top 10, we have the 8-bit Fire Flower. As you can see, we have a lot of 8-bit items on here. So if you're an 8-bit fan and you invested early, you've been absolutely crushing it. However, it did fall down 2 spots, but it's super strong. I got some cap tickets for gliders from some of these token pipes. I'm thinking about taking the 8-bit Fire Flower to 700. It's just really, really strong, super glider there. Candlelight Flight, a new glider that seems to keep getting the right buffs. That's up 3 spots to number 7. 8-Bit Super Mushroom, one of Antelop's favorite, is down 2 spots to number 8. Ship's Wheel, again, a special item that came out of a special pipe, down 2 spots to number 9. And then Glittering Parasol up 2 spots. This is what we talked about, that meh pack that came this tour. I think it's still a really solid glider. I think it's only going to keep going up. It's been a slower burn too. I think right away it didn't do too much, and they came back into special pipes. It's been 2 special pipes in a pack already before it's even really hit its stride. But we'll see what happens going forward. Then rounding out the top 15, we have the Pink Gold Meteors at 11, Glinting Glider at 12, Your Wonderful Wings at 13, Sky High Flyer at 14, and then the Aurora Balloons at 15. Antelope, what are your thoughts on the top 10 gliders?
Yeah, so because there were not that many buffs for gliders, there's not a lot of movement. You see that in the top 5. There's barely any movement at all. But Galaxy Glider did get that buff, so that's why it jumped. And then the rest is kind of a little bit just adjustment to the algorithm. Not a lot of movement there. The big movers are the 11 to 15 ones. Glinting Glider makes it back into the top 15 after being outside for a very long time. That got a buff, I think, on Baby Park R. Wonderful Wings jumps up quite a few spots. That's been kind of yo-yoing, but with the buff and being in ranked, it's really kind of peaking right now. I think it's interesting that Wonderful Wings and Sky High Flyer, both in the top 15, and Record Setter is kind of lagging behind a little bit. It's number 19, so it's still like a really good glider. So all 3 of those Sky Tour gliders, I know we kind of follow those a little bit, have turned out to be excellent value.
Yeah, I think the Record Setter, as we talked about, kind of a new item as special pipe, a high floor. And that's, number 19 on our list is a high floor. There's no doubt about that. I think anytime you have a new item like that, you're looking at top 20 easily. I think with Record Setter, I do wonder if Nintendo decided to, kind of make a change. I think they expected good things of it, and then they accidentally gave it a second level 8 unlock. And they're like, oh shoot, we don't want to make this that amazing. Special. We don't want it to be like the Black Raid Sail. We should probably temper this a little bit. Maybe they might have overreacted in the opposite direction and kind of held back a little. All right, guys, now on to the top movers and shakers. We have Dr. Bowser, moved up 32 spots. Obviously, he got 4 buffs, so no surprise there. With Dr. Peach right behind him with 25 spots. Number 69 and 64 for our Dr. Pear. We have Daisy Farmer went up 25 spots to number 27. Daisy Holiday Cheer, she, as we saw with ranked, got a nice little buff there for the regular Baby Park. Up 23 spots to number 65, though. I don't think she's going to break 60 anytime soon. Daisy Farmer, though, was surprising to see at 27. I think some people were curious if she would be a Black Birdo of 2022. I'm just not taking that risk. I'm not advising heavy investment in her, even if she somehow breaks our top 10. But that could happen. We got Peach Wedding up 18 spots to number 59. Baby Peach Cherub up 14 spots to 61. King Boom Me Racing Suit. I kind of pointed this out with the buffs. It went up 13 spots to number 26. Dr. Mario up 12 spots to 84. Luigi Lederhosen up 11 spots to number 42, and then Dr. Luigi up 11 spots as well, but to 68. Let's talk about carts that got buffed. The green-yellow capsule cart and the capsule cart at the top of this list, moving 60 slots and 48 respectively. So currently, though, I wouldn't get too excited about them, but the capsule cart is the higher of the two, up at number 30 already. So it's interesting to see how these capsule carts will go going forward. The Coconut One went up 45 spots to number 38. The green-blue capsule cart up 43 spots to number 46. Daikon Rocket up 39 spots to number 45. Sneaker up 27 to 73. The Carp Guard, as we talked about, up 26 spots, but don't get too excited. Number 75 on our list. White Bruiser, already number 39 on our list, up 23 spots. Literally been around for a full tour. Orange Streamliner up 17 spots to 105. Really, these Streamliners were not great. I don't think any of them turned out to be anything more. Firefly 16 spots to number 88. And then finally the gliders. Black Cat parafoil, as we talked about earlier, up 30 spots to number 22, just outside the top 20. It'll be interesting to see what comes of these. Not a huge fan of the look, and there's too many of them already, but that one's up. I mean, once it's near that top 20, it starts to catch your eye. Origami Glider up 25 spots to but number 50, so not super high yet. Magnifying Glass up 24 spots to 83. Jolly Bells up 21 spots to 67. Super Mario Kart Glider, a former top 10 glider, has seen better days, up 15 spots to 34. Then Wonderful Wings literally cut its lead in half. It's number 13, up 14 spots. Green Sprout up 12 spots to number 46. We'll see if it gets that slow burn. Has not been a quick burn, but we'll see if it's a slow one. Then the Gold Eggshell Glider. A lot of people are hot on this glider. We'll see what happens. Up 12 spots to 48. So it's too early to tell. While Luigi's Mustache up 11 spots to 35. And the Pink Gold Meteors still crushing it. Up 8 spots to number 11. Anselm, what are your thoughts on all of the movers and shakers?
Yeah, I think the Black Cat parafoil, it's like a huge jump, going from 52 to 22. But I mean, like I said before, it got 2 buffs and they're both new ranked tracks, so that's like to be expected. I think it's interesting the Coconut one is also pretty new, and it's already at 38, and yeah, White Bruiser as well, both from the Doctor Tour items, but both looking pretty strong, even though they're like relatively like small cards. Yeah, the King Boo Mii Racing Suit I also think is an interesting one that has been having some like really like, you know, coverage wise it's a Mii Racing Suit, but it's got the Lucky 7 and it's had some really useful ranked appearances and has some useful tracks, so that's an interesting one to keep an eye on. I'd be curious to see if a non bronze, silver, gold Mii suit could break the top 15. Yeah, other than that, there's a couple of fallers which are maybe a little bit interesting. Let's see here. Mario Sunshine fell down 10 spots, but he's already pretty low. The Gilded King fell down 12 spots from 19th to 31st. That wasn't so nice. Frostwing down 16 spots from 40th to 56th.
Wow. Even with a buff?
Yeah. On the Frostwing, did it get buffed?
Oh, Jolly Bells? Which one?
No, it was Frosty Bells, yeah.
I thought Frosty Bells. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, the Aurora Balloons... No, wait, sorry, that one is not right. That's not the Aurora Balloons. The Meteor Balloons fell down 10 spots. That one was doing really well before. But again, yeah, the gliders didn't move that much, so and not that much to talk about for the gliders.
All right, well, let's talk about All Cup ranking. Again, we got a lot of newer tracks in All Cup ranking. The Goo Goo Buggy, the only item used 12 times out of the 36 tracks. But we got a lot of cat items, a lot of baby items. We got Cat Mario, Cat Luigi, and the Green Cat parafoil. All used 11 times out of those 36 tracks. We have the Goo Goo Pink and the Gold Kitty Kart, used 10 times out of those 36. Then we have the Baby Mario Koala and the Cat Mii Racing Suit, the Cream Cat Cruiser and Green Cat Cruiser, and the Cream Toe Beam Balloons, used 9 times in All Cup ranking. Now we're starting to get into some non-baby or cat items. We have the Gold Mii Racing Suit, and obviously a meta killer here. You're probably, if you have it at as high level as you probably should, you're using it all 8 times. There's no doubt about that. And then you have the Toad Mii Racing Suit, the Tanuki Kart, Cupid's Arrow, and Wonderful Wings, used 8 times. So Tanuki Kart, Cupid's Arrow, Wonderful Wings, most likely things you might have at a higher level. Especially those who do All Cup ranking, so it's going to be really strong for you there. And then a lot of items used 7 times. I don't even know if I want to get through them all, but you got the Silver Mii Racing Suit, Tanuki Rosalina, Volendam. Good for you there, Antelev. You got Pauline Rose, and then Baby Peach Cherub, Birdo White. Got a lot of cards. Most notably, I think the Purple Bunny is a nice, exciting one there. Armor Rider getting a nice little use there. And then for the gliders, you have a wide variety, especially some that have some of these newer items. Things like the Green Sprout, Sky High Flyer, and the Gold Eggshell Glider. And then a couple of these mustache in there alongside the Black Cat parafoil. What are your thoughts on the All Cup ranking items here?
It should be an interesting and fun ACR. I'm not really gonna have time to go for it properly, but I'm gonna give it a little bit of a go. Two drivers that didn't quite make the list, but are very interesting. Yoshi Gold Egg and Yoshi Kangaroo both have 6 tracks in ACR.
Certainly ones that fit the meta.
Mm-hmm.
I'd love to have those at a higher level and be using those instead of Pauline Rose or Baby Peach Cherub. I'm with you there.
Yep.
But if you look at this list, though, maybe Tanuki Karts and the Green B-Dasher Mark II and the Rose Taxi.
I think the drivers are the hardest. You have a lot of non-coin box tracks. You have a lot of tracks without like a decent high skill driver. I mean, like Baby Park, there's Holidaysy, and I think that's it. I mean,
yeah. But if you look at these items, like 70% of them are new, like have been released in 2022. So having them at a high level to do well in all cup rankings is going to be really, really tough.
Difficult.
Now for you, someone like yourself, who have the coverage really, really well wrapped up, having gone for top 10 here recently, a couple tours, this one should be an easy walk in the park for you.
Yeah, I have pretty decent. Like my drivers, like I said, are kind of on the weak side. I mean, relatively, my karts and gliders are pretty strong on this tour. I mean, I have Wonderful Wings level 8 triple capped. I have Tanuki Kart level 8 triple capped. So those I have Armored Rider level
Purple
7
Bunny,
triple capped.
Probably. Purple Bunny, maybe that how.
Yeah, I have that one level 7 double capped. Yeah, so yeah, I think my kart's probably the strongest part of this tour.
Yeah, Volendam, probably the Gold Me racing suit. You're probably doing pretty well.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about ranked, right? So in week 1, we have just the Gold Kitty Kart unlocked at level 8 for Baby Park. Probably not a great option for you. So what you see is what you get, most likely. Now for Frappe Snowland RT, you got a lot of options. For drivers, I don't think you're really too excited about any of these, but you got good coverage. You're probably using, Nabbit. Saddle of You has that track. It's a great option for what's there, but there are some unlocks of Peach and Yoshi, some of those supers that are unlocked to level 3. It's interesting there. And then for the karts, man, I don't. Some of these are interesting because you got some supers in there, but most likely you're probably not using. Maybe you're using these supers, but you're gonna probably have them at low, like say the Chrome DK Jumbo or the Light Blue Turbo Birdo.
I think you get Blue 7 as a top shelf on there as a super, so that like a lot of people probably be using that. I think I'm using that.
I think I might even be using it too.
Yeah.
Butterfly Prism unlocks to level 6. It's a sub. Got kind of its like own subculture of fans there. Definitely the Soaring Jack. I wouldn't worry too much about that. Strawberry Crepe, Sweetheart Glider. Man, honestly, all these unlocks, there's a lot of them, but you have so many options. I doubt that any of these are going to be your top options unless you're looking at some of the supers and you're kind of a newer player. Mushroom Gorge Tea. These are some interesting ones, right? So we got the Gold Me Racing suit, absolutely crushing it right now. But if you don't have that, you got some other options. You get the Peach Meat Racing Suit level 3. Maybe not the best option there for you. But the Pink Shy Guy Ninja. This is a great track. Fun one for Giant Banana. There's not a lot of narrow air ways that you have access to. But sometimes you're forced to go that direction. There's kind of like some options. You got like a mushroom option. You got these, jump boosts versus going over to the right for the mushrooms. You have some ramps you could go up. But overall, Giant Banana is really, really strong. That one, if you have him at level 6, that might be your best option. I'm actually very sad I don't get to use him. I'll be definitely using the Gold Me Racing suit. And then for the karts, here's some really strong karts, guys. We have the Armored Rider at level 3. The Sakura Hop Rod, I'm using that one. Level 6 unlocked there. And then Warrior Wagon level 8 unlocked. That one's going to be tough. And then you get the Pinch Hitter at level 6 too. Mario Mustache, I saw some people going heavy into them, but level 8 is going to be really, really hard to get to that, so most likely for the gliders is what you see is what you get. And then looking at week 2, we have the Choco Island 2, an older track there. We got Gold Cooper Free Running unlocked at level 8, so if you went into that pipe last tour, you're going to be loving that. But Quebec at level 3, it's going to be probably one of the better options there. It's definitely a coin box track. It's going to be one that you're gonna most likely be
a lot
using.
of coin box drivers. I think there's Pinkle Peach and King Bob on Gold. I don't know off the top of my head, but there's a lot.
Now the one caveat to that is you see Yoshi Kangaroo unlocks at level 3. This is a good boomerang track. You have a good number of Coinbox drivers on that second tier, and it's a short track. So if you get your Boombox Frenzy and then you get a Coin Frenzy, you might be outpacing your Coinbox friends. So certainly keep your eye on the Kangaroo. A number of cards get unlocked. Level 6, you get the Goo Pink, Chemex Zoom Broom at level 3, Metal Beat Asher Mark II at level 8, and Rose Taxi at level 8. Those level 8s are going to be probably not accessible. And then we have a number of gliders. Cat Parafoil level 6, Gold Toe Beam Balloons at level 8, New Year's 2022 at level 3, and Rose Parasol at level 6. For Baby Park T, you just have the Cat Me Racing Suit at level 8. That's going to be really hard to get to. Goo Goo Buggy at level 8 as well. So most likely these are not really going to be practical options. You're probably going to see what you get. It's a newer track. Like I said, it's a fun one. I can't wait to grind that one. It's going to be so much fun. Sky Garden R, Gepetto White, Mario Aviator at level 8 and level 6 respectively, with Mario Me Racing Suit at level 3. Probably not options you may be pursuing. You got the Cupid's Arrow though, level 8. This one's going to be one that you're going to keep an eye on. If you've already been liking it, you've already been investing in it, it's got, I mean, level 8's a lot, but like this is a great track to have at level 8, and I don't think you'll regret it. You got the Green Cat Cruiser, the new one at level 6. That one's going to be tough, and the Magna Broom at level 6 as well. Record Setter, this is one of the level 8 unlocks, alongside Sky High Flyer at level 6, and then Wonderful Wings at level 3. I think it's a Wonderful Wings easy one if you want to go that direction. Now for multiple use, shout out to Larry98 who put this together for us. The Cat Me Racing Suit used 3 times. It's got that level 8 unlock though, which was going to be really tough to use. Baby Mario Koala is used twice, alongside Baby Peach Cherub, Cat Mario, Cat Rosalina, Mario Golf, Mario Saddle of You, which are definitely a strong one there for him, and then Peach Wedding, and those are all just you have to right off the bat. You don't have to unlock anything. Really strong options there, especially for Saddle of You and Peach Wedding. You know, if Peach Me Racing Suit has a level 3 unlocked to make 2 total, with White Birdo having that level 8 unlocked for 2 total. Cat Luigi with a level 3. Mario Me Racing Suit with a level 3 unlock as well. The Pink Shy Guy, he's used twice. He has a level 6 unlocked, but again, it's that Me Racing Suit, so you're definitely going to be using him on the T if you have him at a high level. You get him straight up. And then for the Karts, you got the Goo Goo Pink. It's the only one used 3 times. However, you have to have it at level 6 to use 2 of its tracks. That's going to be really tough, but as you mentioned, that was one of the between the 2 Goo Goo items, that's a little bit of a stronger one, but not a huge hitbox, so I don't know if it's going to be worth taking to level 6 just for ranked. But you got the Armored Rider unlocked to level 3. That one's going to be a strong option for you. Cactar used twice as well, straight up. With Cheership, Clankety Cart, Combo Cruiser, Cream Cat Cruiser, all used 2 times straight up. Now you have the Cupid's Arrow with a level 8 unlocked we just talked about. You can use it twice. You get the Gray Cat Cruiser used twice as well. The Gray Cat Cruiser, Carp Kart, and the Prop Carts all used twice straight up as well. And then the Warrior Wagon used twice, but you have to unlock it at level 6. Maybe not a bad option for you. It's really, really strong in the meta. And then for the gliders, Butterfly Prism and the Mario's Mustache are the only 2 used 3 times. However, you have to unlock at least one of the tracks. For the Butterfly Prism, it's a level 6 unlock. And for the Mario's Mustache, a really tough one, a level 8 unlock. For the gliders, you can use 2 times without unlocking anything. You got the Wonderful Wings, Cat Parafoil, the Cream Toe Beam Balloons, the Galaxy Glider, the Glinting Parasol, and then the Silver Bells you can use twice without having to unlock anything. Throw in this, I missed this, the Snow Crystals in there too. So those are all you can use twice without having to unlock anything. Really helpful there. The Cat Parafoil, you have a level 6 unlock to bring it to 2. The New Year's 2022, you have a level 3. And then the Sky High Flyer, you have a level 6 unlocked. Not a bad option there if you have to unlock it. But what are your thoughts on ranked this tour?
Yeah, it's pretty tough ranked. I'd just like to point out there's only 2 items in the whole game that have both Baby Park ranked tracks. That's the Black Cat Parafoil, like we mentioned before, and also the Goo Goo Buggy. And there's no driver that has both of them, so it's quite difficult.
Wow. Wow. So if you need that coverage, go that direction. Well, there we go. Angela, we did not break 1 hour. In fact, we found a lot
close.
of not even close. So we found a lot of good things to talk about in a lackluster tour. But I think overall, as we look back, I think some of the things that stick out to me is the fact that we have a lot of newer newer tracks this tour, which kind of shifts the meta a little bit that direction. We didn't get any buffs there, as you mentioned, for the Sky Garden, and which I thought was interesting. Really, really powerful buffs there for a couple of the items that we already referred to. But the Jukebox Buggy, #1 Kart, Golden Wings, #1 Glider, and then you got the Meowser and the Gold Me Racing Suit, kind of 1A, 1B there for the drivers. Those are really strong. Nothing really to talk about for the pipes or the packs, guys. This is a saving tour. Whether you think it's a filler tour or not, it is a savings tour. That's my best recommendations, is lick your wounds like a cat would and get ready for hopefully a hot summer. Maybe even, I'd love to see some Rosalina swimwear come back. That'd be fun too. Angela, anything you want to say before we wrap up?
No, I think we got it.
Crushed it, guys. All right, well, appreciate everyone joining us for the full time together. It's always one of my favorite times of the tour. We'll see a change with our Kart Talk presentation, or I guess podcast here. I will be traveling next week in South Carolina, so we're gonna have to make some changes. We're either gonna have to do it super early or super late, so look out for that. But it's always a pleasure to join you guys. Until next time, may the frenzy luck be with you. See you guys.